Welcome, this is Nathan and welcome back to another video. Today, we are taking a look at Alternative Future of the World, Season 2, Part 16. You may be wondering why I said it like that. Well, the next episode is the finale of this series. That's right. Season 2 is coming to its end. It hasn't even felt like that long, really. Today won't have... It's going to barely have any wars. Today's going to be probably the shortest episode of the series, because the next episode... Oh god, are you guys in for a treat on May 2nd? In the last video, we saw... Not much happen. I really forgot what happened. I haven't recorded one of these in ages. The most noticeable one is Argentina uniting with all their neighbours and joining the Allies. Also, what else happened? Don't really remember. Today, we might only see like a couple of wars break out, and that's because, well, looking at the map, most of the Axis members most of the Asian Order and Axis members don't border any neutral countries. You have Tibet, which borders Siam. You have the Soviet Russia, which can attack Japan, I guess. We have Chad, who borders Nigeria. Brazil, who borders Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, and Suriname. Probably for not much longer, though. Nicaragua borders El Salvador, Guatemala, and Costa Rica. And you have Germany, Romania, bordering Greece, and then finally, but not least, Spain bordering Catalonia. They don't have many options, which is why in today's episode, they're going to focus on expanding their alliance. Japan, ever since they collapsed, has not done anything. They haven't wanted to join anything or go to anybody because they've just been trying to get over that collapse. Now they're fully over it, nearly 10 episodes later, and they will be rejoining the Axis after a very long time. Now, why are they rejoining the Axis, you may be wondering? Well, they're not going to join the Order of Peace, and they're definitely not going to join the Allies after what the Allies did to them. Yeah, the Allies were most of the reason why that civil war broke out. They kind of funded some of them. I don't know if I ever said that in part 9. Yeah, they funded some of it. It's classic. It's just the classic world we live in. Now, with this, Manchuria is feeling trapped. They only border one ally, which is Korea. And now with Japan in the Axis, they feel like full-on trapped. Same with Korea and China. Now, we're going to see one of the few episodes of this war, and this is going to be a semi-liberation war. The Asian Order will go with Tibet to invade Siam. Now, why is Tibet the only one invading Siam? Simple, they're the only one that border Siam. Now, the Asian Order is in this war, and Tibet will be destroying the actual hell out of Siam here. Like, it's not even, it's just horrendous. It is bloody. And, well, this is gonna get Indonesia panicking. See, Indonesia doesn't want to be invaded. That's the whole point. They've been neutral in this entire series. They're one of the few countries that haven't had their borders change throughout the entire span of this series, and they kind of want it to keep going that way. So after Siam completely collapses from the overwhelming amount of Axis and Asian Order troops, let's take a look at this peace treaty before I say what's going to happen. Anyway, in the peace treaty, we can see that Tibet took a big chunk out of Siam. Like, a massive, massive chunk. It wasn't even like they took a small chunk, they just, took a massive chunk. This leaves the rest of Siam to be forced into a new government, which joins the Asian Order, And as you can see, the Asian Order is now near Indonesia. Now, Indonesia did do something in that war, which angered the, Asian Order. Of course they would. They took the rest of Malaysia before the Asian Order could get over there. And they annexed it for themselves. Well, they don't. In all reality, they were saving Malaysia. Malaysia just joined them after the war ended. So, in an attempt to make sure that they do not get destroyed like Siam did, Indonesia will be joining the Allies. That is a massive, massive, and I mean massive win for the Allies. If Indonesia went to the Asian Order, it would be drastic. Like, if they invaded them or joined them, it would have been drastic. It would have changed the tide of war completely. But with Indonesia joining the Allies now get almost complete domination over the Indian Ocean. As you can see, they own this massive part of India. Bangladesh is allies. China is massive. Let me just try and colour this in. Oh my god. I haven't said it for a while, but if you guys were here for the finale of Alternative Future World Season 1, and you saw how much I struggled with this, I'm glad that with Alternative Future World Season 3, I've got a different map. You guys don't know what it is yet? Anyway, next area we're going to be focusing on, because that's Asia all sorted out. We're going to be focusing on Africa and Europe next. Greece, it's been around for ages. It got independence from Italy once that big war broke out, and hasn't really made a move. The reason why, they wanted to stay neutral. Poor thing that Germany and Romania don't like neutrality. So, this is one of our few wars again. I'm not even going to show the war, because what's the point of even showing the war when you know what's going to happen? Greece gets stomped by Romania and Germany. Now, this is a question nobody has asked, but I actually think it's kind of interesting. What year is it right now? Because next episode's the finale. I would say we are in like 2100. Nukes have not been invented. So you guys might be clueless on how this series is going to end if it's not got any nukes. Not spoiling anything, but you just have to see on the finale. Right. Speaking of this, Catalonia is not going to waste any time, and they're going to join the Allies. They should have done this a long time ago if you really think of it. To be honest, they actually are so scared that they might even unite with France, which eventually, after a few months of figuring out what to do, they joined France. Yeah, Catalonia was not scared. Europe is all sorted out. Do not count Greenland, you European suckers. Now for Africa. It's clear what's happening here. Nigeria have been threatened about the amount of troops on their border. Well, there's no troops on their border, but they think there will be. Nigeria will be joining the African Order. Order of Peace, not African Order. That was their old name. Seriously, this is why I'm so fed. We had the issue where if I coloured in something on the last map, it would, lag. This time, it's that... There we go, okay. Liberia is another country we need to talk about. A country that's not changed their borders this entire series. They'll be joining this, really, really weird coastal thing. What even is this? Anyway, they will be uniting into, this Ivory Coast thing. I really don't know what I can name this. Equatorial Guinea will be joining in with this union right here. They were struggling anyway, so they just unite with it. South Africa, one of the strongest countries in Africa, will join the Order of Peace. Same goes for Mozambique and Madagascar. They really don't want to join any other alliances. Now, at this point, after Africa gets screwed up, the world knows that another world war is on its way. I mean, look at this map. There's barely any neutrality left. Switzerland is fearing this. Nobody else knows of the past. Switzerland does. Even though Switzerland did what they wanted to do, kind of, they stopped nukes from being invented, they stopped all of that from happening, they're still terrified. They still don't want this war to happen. If you guys think of it, this is Switzerland's fault, and also not. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, really. Switzerland wanted the Allies to win. They lost World War II. They won World War III, but by looks of it, I mean, yeah. Can you see what I'm trying to point out here? It doesn't look like they have the advantage here, even if they had the Order of Peace on their side. Speaking of the Order of Peace, they're going to keep expanding outwards. Venezuela will join their alliance. Guyana will also, and remember, Russia didn't exist in this timeline. Soviet Union never collapsed. Well, it did, but it didn't collapse how it did in real life. So these countries don't have any connections towards Russia or anything. Suriname will be joining the Order of Peace. Now, Colombia and Ecuador and Mexico are the ones I think are obviously the main ones here. Mexico will invade Guatemala and Belize. Now, this brings up a lot of worries with America. America does not like the fact that there's now an expansionist on their border. We just see a little sneaky annexation of, that country, and also, yeah. I don't even know if I need to show these wars, because you know what's going to happen. Colombia and Ecuador will unite and join the Allies, because they still have connections, even if this is an alternate timeline. The USA will have these two, will allow them in immediately. Panama will unite into Colombia, just because, well, they don't want to be invaded by this hungry power up north, which is just an island, their neighbours. So we sort of have Gran Colombia back, even though I don't think you can really call it Gran Colombia. By the way, yes, the Panama Canal was created in this timeline, so that thing still exists. Now, there aren't many more countries left. Greenland, you guys know where Greenland's going, right? They're going to be joining the Allies. What else would they do? The Caribbean, I'm sorry, guys. I don't care enough. I don't really care enough about the Caribbean. Look, I think you guys can understand, right? Same goes for... that's major, I'm going to keep that. Not saying the Caribbean isn't major. Anyway, Mexico. The USA will begin their invasion of Mexico. Now, did the Allies call for this? No, honestly they didn't. They didn't call for any of this. But as the USA begins their invasion of Mexico, Mexico joins the Axis. Oh crap, says the USA. Now, normally this wouldn't be so much of a harm. The USA could just retreat their troops and say, sorry, we didn't mean to do that. We're talking about the Axis. They don't care enough to even offer that. So, the Axis will declare war on the United States, which brings in the Allies to the war, beginning a massive war. Now, I'm going to keep them as these colours, just because I'm not going to colour them in, you know why. They will stay as they are. They will stay cyan and dark red. But even worse, there's still two big alliances here. the Asian Order will be called to join on to, the Axis side. They immediately accept the offer. So let me just quickly sort that out. So now it's a massive war. This war is humongous in every single way possible. The Allies will now try to call in their ally, although they decline. Now, the Allies are very confused about this. Why would our allies decline? Remember in the first series, there were big betrayals. Well, just like the first series, we have another similar one happening like that. Just this time, it is a catastrophic betrayal. The purple team will deny the Allies and declare war on both the Axis and the Allies. And also, these guys, the Asian Order. Anyway, we now have a three-way war like the last series. The Axis, the African Order, Order of Peace. Yes, I know, the name doesn't really fit anymore, because they're now going to war. And the Allies. I will see you in the finale on May 2nd.